Alright guys, welcome back, and in this video we will continue and we will now learn about objects and classes. Now this is quite a big topic. This is kind of a grandiose topic that you need to know. You actually absolutely have to know it. And when you're talking about, for example, Solidity smart contracts, and when you're talking about EOS smart contracts, I mean, knowing classes is key. And it is very important. And we kind of already started with structs. So if you understand structs, I think you will be able to understand classes quite easily as well. But you basically remember that whenever we declare a struct, we basically declare a new data type. We tell C++, you know what, I want to declare a completely new data type that no one has seen before. So in this case we have person, and we can start to defining what kind of variables a person has. So a person has name, age, gender, and then we could also say, you know what, now I want to define yet another data type that no one has ever seen before. It is not an int, it is not a string, it is not a double, but it is marriage. So we have a new variable type called marriage, and this variable type in turn uses the variable type person, which we created here, in order to define itself. So we use the variable type person in order to define the variables that constitute the variable type marriage. Now we will take it a step further, because in structs you can only have data. So for example, person can only have data, information. You do not have functions, you do not have code inside of structs. And this is exactly what we will do with classes. So let's just for fun copy this little struct right here. Let's go to this new project and let's paste it here. We have struct person, and also remember that we had to declare a function outside of the struct in order to print information about the person. And let's copy that here as well, and let's actually put it at the bottom here, because later we will compare. So guys, now let's create a class that achieves the same functionality but in a better way, in a way better way. So let's create a class called person like this, and now we will use a keyword, a new keyword called public, but let's just ignore it for now. Let's just write public and ignore it for now. And what you actually can do is that you can indent like this and you can write like this. So what kind of public variables do we have? Well, we had the name, we have the age, we have the gender, like this. And you remember that we were able to create a person in this fashion when we had structs. So now I'm going back to the old project. So let's do that as well. Person Ivan equal to this, and let's see if this works. So let's, for example, print Ivan that name and see if it works. Build and run, and you see I get Ivan back. And as you can see, I mean, creating a class like this is identical to creating a struct like this. The only difference is that we have class instead of struct, and we also have this keyword public. However, this is where it starts getting interesting, because now we can actually add functions here. So for example, what we can do is that we can write void print info like this. And now what I can do is that I can do cout, and I can do basically this function we had right here, print person info. If I go back, I paste it here. And instead of using p dot, I just use name, age, and gender, because name is already here, age is already here, and gender is already here. So print info will know where to get these variables, name, age, and gender, because they are part of the same class. while here we had an argument called person P, and the type of the argument was person and the name of the argument was P. And this is how we supplied information to this function. But now instead what we have is that we can use these variables directly. And so the good thing now is that I can do Ivan.printinfo like this. And if I build and run, you see that I get the same result. I get the name of the person is Ivan, the age of the person is 21, the gender of the person is male. And I'm able to embed a piece of code into a class, into a new variable type, and then I'm able to execute this piece of code by using this variable we just created and calling the function printinfo in that variable. So you see, in this easy way, we're able to call code in a variable, inside a variable with its own specific type called person. And as you can see, this is much cleaner. It's much cleaner to embed this functionality in the class instead of having like this, that you have the struct here and then somewhere outside you define the function to print the information about the struct. Much better to have it inside like this. Now, guys, I hope you understand. I hope you know how this works. I hope you are a bit smarter, and I hope you now can construct your own simple classes. And when we define a class like this, this is the blueprint. I mean, if we only do like this, we do not do anything in the main method, in the main function, and we only write like this, we define a blueprint for a data type. Because we never instantiate this data type, we never create a variable called person. The only thing we do is that we tell C++ that, you know what, if we ever create a variable called person, if we ever do that, it should look like this. It should have a name, it should have an age, it should have a gender. But by only writing this, by only declaring this, we never actually create any variables. We never allocate any memory. We don't actually create any specific variables in the computer memory. And so this is the class. However, whenever we do like this, whenever we create an instance of a specific class, this is called the object. So Ivan is an object of the class person in this case. And if I create person Julia, Julia is now an object of the class person. So guys, I hope you now also know the difference between an object and a class. And that being said, I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day and goodbye, guys.